Have you got a dog? You should get a dog. On the show today, we're going to talk with two people who are with an agency that take their therapeutic dogs into places that need it. Hang on.
Taking Niagara by Storm. Today's Look at Life in Niagara by John Storm.
Thanks for tuning in. You may have seen these therapeutic dogs around the region. They're all over Canada. And I thought it's about time we finally bring them into the studio so you can learn more about what they are. My guests today are Lori Thwaites. Lori, welcome. And Diane. And you're from the Therapeutic Paws of Canada in Niagara. Lori, what is that organization?
It's an organization that started Therapeutic Paws of Canada, TPOC. It started in Canada in 2002 by the name, the founder was Judy Sauvé. She started it, and now we've expanded across Canada, having about 600 dogs in the program.
Wow. And what do the dogs do?
The dogs go into nursing homes, into hospitals, into hospice, schools, libraries. Basically, they offer comfort to those who need our services.
Do they just walk in and just stand there?
Oh, absolutely not. No, our dogs really interact with them.
Well, let's introduce this dog. Your dog is, who's your dog?
Teddy.
Teddy. That's Teddy up here. And your dog
is Miko.
Miko on the floor.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So
a little bit too big to be on the table.
Sorry, I interrupted you. You go into these various places.
Yes, we do. We go into the places and we basically do what she's doing. We offer our dogs up to anyone who wants to pet them, have a comfort with them, a snuggle with them. Our dogs just bring smiles on people's faces because they go in there and they interact with them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Is there a lot of training to the dogs?
There's training prior to getting to us. We actually don't train the dogs to be therapy dogs. We expect your dog is well behaved before it gets to us.
Right.
And then once they get to us, and there's a procedure to get them to us, but once they do get to us, we go through an evaluation process. And during that evaluation process, we put them through the paces that they would interact with people in hospitals and things that they might see, or nursing homes, just to make sure they're comfortable in the situation they're going to be put in.
I've seen documentaries a few years ago where they bring dogs like this in for kids who want to read.
Absolutely.
You know, they're a little scared reading by themselves, but when they have their hand on the dog, they calm them down.
There's a lot of children in our areas that maybe English isn't their first language, maybe they've been bullied, maybe they have a home that's not quite as happy as one would like. They come in and they sit down and they cuddle with the dog, they read to the dog. The dog is non-judgmental. The dog won't say, oh, you got that word wrong. Whatever the child does, it's a positive thing with the dog.
Yes.
We've had kids in the past speak. Like, they've never spoken before, and they actually started to speak to the dogs, whispers in their ears, but they actually spoke to the dog.
Wow, that's amazing.
It was really gratifying.
That's amazing. Diane, you do a lot of work at the hospital. You take the dogs into the hospital. Tell us how that works.
We have about 13 people visiting the hospital with their dogs right now. We're into every floor, and as well as the Walker Family Cancer Center, the EMS, mental health, and pediatrics.
Right.
So we cover a good range.
So do you go in like with 2 dogs or 3
It depends.
dogs? Or?
Mental health, we have 4 dogs go in at one time.
Right.
And visit with the patients there. On the floors, you can do 1 dog or 2 dogs. It just depends on what they want.
Right, very good. It's a very important service because they provide that comfort, that security, and you look at their eyes and you just melt. Yeah.
And you can see they're well-behaved dogs. We don't bring any dog into our program that isn't well-behaved. They go through such a very tedious evaluation to make sure they're the right fit, and the person's the right fit for us too.
When I bring in a group like you, I always ask this question: how do you survive financially?
It's tough. Right now, we are all paying our own shot the whole way.
You're paying your own gas?
Yeah, that always has been the way in any therapy dog program. You volunteer your time, you volunteer your gas, you volunteer everything. We pay our membership fee to our program, which is very minimal. We also have to buy our own uniforms and our dogs' uniforms. And you can see they all have different uniforms that we wear for different occasions. The dogs that are wearing the vests, both these 2 dogs have been child tested, so they can wear the vests. The necker or the bandana is worn by any dog who passes our program. Working in the hospital, we have to have the dog's name tags on, just like we have to wear our name tags as well. So the dogs have full uniforms they have to wear, as well as us. We have to wear the red shirts and our proper identification as well.
But if-
And that's all coming out of our own pockets.
Yeah, but I mean, it would be nice to have a patron to give you.
Oh, it would be wonderful. Absolutely. We would never.
So if anyone's watching and listening, they can think about
Absolutely,
that.
absolutely. It's since it's a nonprofit charitable organization, donations can be made to the organization, can be made locally to our Niagara branch, Niagara Region branch, and then those funds help us do all the type of programming that we want to offer.
Yeah.
And there's a lot out there. Like I say, our main focus right now is the hospital. We have a huge calling at the hospital, and every day it changes as people come and go.
Yes.
And that's one of our big things that we're focusing on in our branch.
Yeah.
And the hospice, where end of life.
Do you go to the new hospital in St. Catharines?
Absolutely. They were the first ones to have us.
Do you go to other hospitals yet?
We used to. We are not in them yet because we just restarted the whole program again.
Right, okay.
So-
Well, you know who doesn't have any pets? President Trump. And can't you tell?
Pets make you smile.
Needs a few.
Pets make you smile and they give you a good laugh.
Yeah. Well, pets I think are important. We have pets at home. Pets, you learn empathy. You learn how to look after someone.
Yes.
Schedules, feed them and walk them. You get some exercise.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is these dogs, they love to go to work. As soon as they put on their uniforms,
They know.
they're going to work. And the best part of the whole thing is we get to hold on to their leash while they go in and do all this great stuff.
Right.
And it's like magic. It really is like magic.
With the little kids, they might paw a lot, the dog?
No. Our dogs are supposed to keep their paws on the floor. Okay, we have to actually give them a release command in most cases to get the dog to pass a shake a paw to you or
Right.
something.
But what I'm talking about is the dog comes in and the kid just keeps grabbing at the dog.
Oh, that the dog.
The dogs are used to it.
Yes, in our therapy dog program, TPOC has what they call an IWC program. This is a program which means interact with children, interacting with the children, and these dogs that have been in our regular program for a while can go into this and be evaluated in that program. When they're evaluating that program, we put them through some major tough tests. They've got kids on the floor with food, they've got toys on the floor, they've got them running around, they're dancing, they're singing, they're banging, all kinds of things are happening, and our dogs cannot react. So by the time they finish their evaluation for it to be a child-tested dog, they're bomb-proof. They're bomb-proof.
Wow.
So, like, I've had people run over her tail
Oh.
with a wheelchair. I've had a balloon pop at her face from a child. Yeah, they'll react, but they're not going to jump. They're not going to bite. They're just going to, hey, what's going on? You know?
So you take dogs that are sort of calm.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. There are some
Now,
very hyper dogs.
there are, and we have those in our program, but we know to channel their energy. When their uniform is on, they're working.
They're going to work.
settle and they're going to be working now.
You know, I know police who have police dogs. When that dog dies, there's grief in
Absolutely.
that officer's mind.
Yeah.
You know, these are important beings.
These are our family pets, but they have shown to us that there's something more, and that's why we've gone and joined the therapy dog program. Mika's been a therapy dog for years, but she's just become a TPOC dog since April, and I'm thrilled to be part of the program, and I'm thrilled to be in the hospital.
I'm going to ask you each this question because I like this question. What have you learned from your dog?
Probably to slow down and smell the roses.
There you go, Diane.
I was going to say patience and
Patience.
yeah, and a lot of love. You get love at home as well. So they're providing therapy to the hospital, but they're providing therapy to us as well.
Yeah. How many members do you have?
18 right now. There'll be 2 additional ones coming through. They're in the process of being mentored right now. So once we get those 2 guys on board, we'll have 20. And we're hoping to grow. Obviously, the hospital wants more dogs, and that's what our focus is going to be. And we have a lot of members in nursing homes as well as the hospital. And we were just in Brock University on Wednesday.
Right.
For their, they have a stress relief program that they
Yes.
offer in a wellness. So Brock has been a friend of ours for years. So when they asked us to help in the program, bring our dogs in, we said sure. So we had 6 dogs on Wednesday at Brock University's downtown campus. About 100 students there.
Do you find mostly female students?
No.
Male?
Both.
Both.
Even mix, and teachers. The profs and the teachers are there in full force too. Yeah.
That's
and a
great.
custodian or two pops in once in a while.
Yeah, that's great. I think that dogs give us a sense of who we are, and dogs, you look at their eyes and you melt. They're great companions. And Pete, I don't know if this is true, but I think I can sense when people don't have pets. They just aren't, they don't have a soft side to them.
No.
You know, when you have a pet, you care about the pet, you feed, you nurture, and they give us so much.
Pets bring out the best in all of us. There's no question about it. And even if you don't have a pet, you maybe had a pet in the past, or you know somebody that's had a pet, and somehow a pet has touched your life.
Yeah.
And when someone is in the hospital, for example, and they're going through chemo, and they get a cold little nose shoved up like Miko just did to me a few minutes ago up your arm there, I smile, because like that's wonderful. And for the person that's going through chemo, it's a blessing. And it's so rewarding. Like the things that we hear, we've heard about a lady at Brock University comes every year and sees our therapy dogs, because one year our dogs acknowledged that something was physically wrong with her. She didn't know, but afterwards we found out she had a heart attack.
Yeah.
And you know, she comes every year to thank us for that. Something we didn't know our dogs did.
Well, I think, you know more about dogs obviously than I do, but I think that dogs can also smell cancer.
Yes, I think so. I think so. But this was just something different. Like, and you get people calling you up and giving you stories all the time of how you've touched their life. I volunteered at a school, and I live around by a school, and people still come to my house and say, "How's Miko doing?" Because she had a health issue a while back. And she's doing great. Now, she's not volunteering at the school anymore, but they still like to see her.
Are they both on Facebook?
My dog is.
I still have to learn Fritz.
Miko has her own Facebook page, plus our own Niagara branch, our own Niagara Region has her own Facebook page.
Right.
And it's very popular. Once every Thursday, we feature a new dog. Miko was 2 weeks ago when it was her birthday. Yesterday was Cookie, which is a very, very similar version to Teddy here as a Pomeranian.
So how long does it typically take to train a dog to be a therapeutic dog?
I started training when Miko was 18 weeks old. Well, maybe even a little sooner, maybe 10.
And how long, I know once he's trained, but how long does it take from starting at 0 to being ready to go to the hospital?
You can't become a therapy dog until you're a year old.
Okay.
So you have to get some basic training. Obedience training is wonderful. It makes you able to give a command to your dog, and your dog will do it. And that's a huge thing. So I would say if you were serious about it, probably a year to start, and then maybe a year to get really good to get into a program and be feeling really comfortable. Like I have no qualms about taking my dog anywhere. So
My sense is that you and your members are really committed to this.
Yes.
This is not just an idea that someone had.
No.
This is a way of living.
this is a passion for us.
Yeah.
We have seen firsthand the benefit it does. And some of us have even experienced it firsthand. I know Diane lost her father not long ago, and her dogs were amazing for Diane, for the father. And that was done through the hospital as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, these things it's a really important lifestyle, and we chose to have this lifestyle. Sorry, my dog is relaxing very well.
But I do think that when children especially have a dog and the dog gets older and then passes away, it teaches that child something about we don't last forever.
That's right.
And how to deal with the grief from that.
Yeah. But they see the two of you with your dogs and they think, I can just see them smile, their eyes get bigger. These animals are very important to the culture of this country, of the world. You know, some dogs are in very dangerous situations, in wars, and you know, it's terrible what happens to them, but these guys are very lucky
Yeah.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
you have them.
And we are lucky that they have us.
Yeah. And you have vet bills.
Yes, we all have vet bills. To be part of the program, we have to make sure our dogs are healthy because they are going into places where there are sick people. And so all our dogs have to have their current vaccines and things like that all the time. They have to be monitored and make sure.
Right.
We have health certificates filled out by our veterinarians to make sure that they can do the job that they're asked to do.
Right.
That's a big thing. And then, you know, if your dog gets sick, you have to, if you want to keep doing this program, you have to get your dog better, and you are off for a period of time. If you go on an antibiotic or something, you're off for a period of time. You have to be healthy to visit.
Have the dogs had ticks?
Not mine.
Not mine.
No?
No.
Good.
Our vets are really good. Like I have actually 3 veterinary groups that are very good with her, and I have a first respond type vet, and I have one that takes care of her health issues, and I have one that did her surgeries. And no, she's never had any ticks, and they're very good about making sure we get the right medicine.
What are the medical issues that a dog could have?
Could be lame, like have problems with their hips.
Right.
We have one that has 2 hip replacements or knee replacements.
McGee's got 2 knee replacements.
Boy, that sounds
our,
expensive.
Yeah, it was. Mary, we call her, she's our evaluator, Mary.
Right.
So she's very good about seeing, you know, if there's a limp on a dog, she's very good about that kind of thing and seeing. But her dog had 2 knee replacements, and we call her a therapy dog that's bionic.
But don't they have a cough too?
Oh, kennel cough.
Kennel cough?
Okay, he has a cough. You probably just heard it a few minutes
That's okay,
ago.
yeah.
But he's a rescue, and we're not sure what circumstance he was in before I got him.
Right.
And I've taken him to the vet regarding the cough, and it's trachea. It's a collapsing trachea.
Yes, that's what our dog has too.
Yeah, so that's why you hear the cough. It's not contagious. It's
Yeah.
nothing, but yeah.
Wow.
But kennel cough can be,
Yeah.
and all our dogs are tested yearly for that.
Right. And rabies?
Absolutely.
And what else is there?
Heartworm.
Heartworm.
We have to make sure, like, there's no ear infections, eye infections, anything like that. Any open wounds or anything, you cannot visit with anything like that. They're very, very strict on our protocols for health of the dog.
I wonder if they're teaching this in medical schools.
I don't know, but I got some really good doctors up in the OVC in Guelph. They did miracles with my dog when I thought I was going to lose her.
Yes.
So I was quite impressed. My local vet found there was a problem, sent me right up to OVC, and OVC, surprisingly, I got her a year later when I thought she'd be gone.
It's funny, you know, when you're close to your dog, and most of us are, if you have the cash, you don't mind spending the cash to keep the animal alive.
Yeah. And insurance companies help too if you have that.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I have insurance for our dog,
Yeah,
which,
yeah.
thank heavens, my breeder rolled me in when I was first started up with this breed. And,
Do you know how much you pay a year for insurance?
I'm about $40 a month.
A month, okay.
A month.
Yeah.
The medical bills, as I told you before, are huge for the issues she had.
So if someone wants to volunteer their dog to become a therapeutic dog, what happens?
Okay, it's a real simple process. The first thing you have to do is find out who we are. So you have to go to tpoc.ca, our website. On that Canadian-wide website, it says Team Leaders, and you can go on there, and you go down, you find the area that you're located. So if you're in Niagara, or if you're in Beamsville, or wherever you are, or you could be out in BC. You go there, find the name of the team leader, and you make contact with them. There's usually a phone number or an email you can contact. Once they contact us, the team leader, in this case, if it was here, it would be me, I would contact you and we would set up an interview. Once the interview was done, and you and I have agreed that you're a good fit for the program, and I think you're a good fit for the program, and the program is a good fit for you, then we would go further. In that case, we would ask them to go ahead and get their vaccines updated and stuff to make sure the dog was healthy. Then they would be invited to come to an evaluation. The evaluation is usually about 8 dogs at once, lasts 2 to 3 hours. Mary, our evaluator, does each dog individually and as groups so we can see how they interact with other dogs. We have big and small, obviously, and they have to be able to work in the same room together. So the evaluation is done. If the evaluation is successful, which is basically what happens in nursing homes, there could be bedpans falling, there could be walkers, there could be people with crutches, canes, doctor's desks, all this happens. If it's successful, then they would go on to get a vulnerable sectors check. because we want the police to make sure that we are good candidates ourselves to be
Right.
part of the program.
Right.
We get that vulnerable sectors check. We have 3 references which we verify with each candidate that comes through to make sure that they are who they say they are and what they believe and everything. When that's all completed, then they go on to what's called monitored visits. Monitored visits are done basically in the hospital because that's one of our priorities. Diane is the hospital coordinator, so she does the first one. She would take them through the procedures of, you know, what you do at the hospital, where things are, and so on and so forth. The second one is done by Mary, our evaluator. She again is checking to see how the dog and the handler are working together, if they're going up and visiting, saying hello, do they feel comfortable in this setting? And we keep notes all the way along, and so if there's any concerns, each time we encourage them to maybe try this or try that. On the third one, it's usually myself or a senior member that will go, and we'll just check to see how the team is working. By that time, they should be able to go up and say, hi, how are you doing? This is Miko. Would you like to meet my therapy dog today, or whatever? And see if they feel comfortable in their role as well as the dog feels comfortable. If all that is good, then we welcome them to the program. We send all their paperwork off to our head office, and they send them a welcome letter, and they're good to go.
Where's head office?
I think it's in Ottawa, but I'm not sure.
I think so,
I
or
think
close
it's
to it.
Yeah.
So have you ever turned people away?
Yes.
Why?
Their dog was not a good fit for our program.
Or maybe the person was
The
not
person could be not a good fit. We do require you to be outgoing, so to speak. We need you to be wanting to be enthusiastic about the program. We want you to realize that this is, you're putting a face on TPOC. So if it's not a good face, we don't want it. You know, we want you to be part of the program, but we want you to really understand the program and value the program that we're offering.
I think sometimes too people get mixed up between therapy dogs and
Right.
service dogs.
Oh,
So
what is the difference?
the difference is the therapy dogs can be pet and they want to be pet. That's their job. Service dogs are for, you can get it for the blind or for
Right.
PTSD.
Right.
And they don't. They're working with that person and should not
Yes.
be.
Yeah, they're definitely not therapy dogs.
No, therapy dogs can't go on the buses and into restaurants and all that kind of thing, where the service dogs can go with their owner
Right.
into these facilities.
Right. I think this is a great program, and you know, I hope you get lots more members because we need it.
We do.
There are so many people in hospitals and schools and all over the place. All they might need one day when they're having a bad day is a snout coming up.
Well, like this.
And even the nurses and the doctors, they all get a kick out of the dogs coming by too, and they're there to pet them because they're stressed out as well.
Sure.
Oh, absolutely. They're there. As soon as you walk on the floor, they're there. They come out from behind their desks, and they're there wanting to see us.
Yep.
What's the greatest challenge you have right now? Is it funding?
Well, funding can be a problem. Like I say, right now, all of our members are doing it on their own. So it's all our uniforms, all our police checks, everything. It's all coming out of our own pockets.
And you can't write that off.
No, you
No.
cannot. No, it's part of becoming a volunteer of our organization. So some people, as soon as they hear that, they don't want to be part because it is going to cost them. What the advantage of that is you've got a volunteer that really wants this program and wants to be part, and they're willing to put their own money on the line. So yeah, funding is definitely an issue. We would love any donations that we can get. Absolutely.
What, outside of what you're doing now, how much money would you look for, do you think, to run the organization?
To start up an organization, I believe it's around $2,500. So for us to just get on the board in April, it was $2,500.
You paid that?
We haven't yet. We are hoping our cute, lovable dogs will get some funds in, and we'll be able to do that. And you know, we're just trying the best to keep our heads above water till we get our organization up and running a little bit more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When you drive with the dogs, is there any indication on your car that
Absolutely.
where is it?
Okay, right now we're in the process of getting magnets for our cars.
Right.
Mine are on there now, and it says TPOC, therapy dog, Miko, Bernie's mountain dog, volunteering here or something like that. And that goes on our cars. When we were at Brock on the weekend, we had it in our windows. We have signs in our windows that say that we're volunteering as well.
Very nice.
Sometimes they walk away though, I'm so sorry to say.
Our magnets.
Our magnets.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah, so we have to replace them. People like our dogs and they want their picture.
Yeah.
So their picture's on our magnet.
Yeah, that would be the other area where funding would go, is to
Absolutely.
do advertising, put it on the cars, that kind of thing.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, you could sell magnets.
We could. Fundraising is not a huge priority right now. Our huge priority is to fill the spots at the hospital. The hospital needs us. So if they need us, that's where our dogs need to go. And we will do whatever we can to get there. And that's why we're all putting up the bill ourselves.
There are people who support the hospital financially.
Yes.
Maybe they can take a sliver of that and move it over.
We're hoping so.
Because these are, I can just imagine going into a room with a sick child or a sick adult, and their faces will light up. I don't know anyone who doesn't like dogs. Do you?
There was a girl in pediatrics the other day when I was up there. Miko and McGee were working that floor, and this little girl, she was not feeling very well at all. And McGee knew that Mary's dog and got right in with her nose, right in. My dog was beside her, but McGee was right in under her arm, like, you need some love. And it was great. It was
And the parents there.
The parents were there. Their parents were there. And more often than not, you'll get people coming in and just say thank you. That's the first time she smiled all day. Or we were in that floor 2 in the hospital. Remember that guy, the gentleman in the room said, I haven't seen my father smile in days. And it was huge. Like, it makes your heart melt.
Yeah.
It really does. We know we're doing a good thing.
And a lot of the people in the hospital are missing their own pets.
Oh, sure.
So they really appreciate seeing another dog come in, and then they'll talk about their dog. It kind of lights them up and makes them feel a bit
Do
better.
you talk to them too yourself?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we have very good conversations a lot of the times. It's not just the dog. We have conversations with those people, and because we are hospital volunteers, anything that we hear or see, it's all confidential.
Yes.
We
Yes.
do not share any of that with our family, friends, or anybody. It's all confidential.
I'm so happy you came onto the show. This is a very important organization. Good luck
Thank
over the next
you.
few months. When you think about this, folks, these creatures are important to all of us, especially in the hospital. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in 7 days.